welcome to another episode of Brand Different. I'm your host, Famira, your creative brand strategist, and I am excited about today's episode. We are going into episode 4, and today's guest is Lisseth Wertz. She is the subconscious shifter, a quantum leap coach and healer of healers, and energy transformational master. She has worked with over 2,200 people, and she is passionate about helping women on their spiritual path to own all of them, the visible and the obvious and the not so obvious, aka subconscious. More than anything, she knows that the women she attracts are meant to impact other people's lives, and she is on a mission to help them align with their soul gifts to be that impact the world is calling them to be. And I know firsthand of the magic of the wonderful Lisette. I have actually personally worked with her, so I'm really excited about this conversation. She has been my coach, my healer, and a mentor and friend. And so we're going to get right into today's episode. I hope you enjoy.
Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Brand Different. I am your host, Famira, and I am a creative brand strategist, and I am here talking today with another amazing woman, Lisseth. How are you doing today?
Hello, Amira. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this. I'm really excited.
I'm so excited to have you here. And so Lisseth is a quantum leap coach. And so we're going to be talking about some amazing things, especially around mindset. How I know her is we actually met in a coaching program, and she has really helped me personally through some of her programs that she offers around mindset shifts and really opening up that aspect of myself, even with energy work and different things of that nature. So I'm really excited to have you here on today's show. So we're just going to jump right in and have you just tell people a little bit about what it is that you do.
Okay, so thank you so much again for having me here. So often I get asked, so what do you mean quantum leap coach, right? I love helping coaches and healers into, and all the people that really want to go beyond their place of stuckness. But really, I'm turning right now my passion and my gifts into helping others open, expand, and own their healing gifts. So they can actually bring more transformation in their lives and, of course, the life of their clients. And not everybody knows this, but naturally we have been designed to naturally heal. And so whether it's emotional or mental or physical healing, okay, it is in our nature to heal. And so because ABC reasons, society, culture, and whatnot, we have shut down those. And truth is in the mindset work, when we start to incorporate what I call the healing gifts, we create more transformation, we create deeper transformation, hence quicker turnaround in somebody else's life and in your life. That's why I call myself the quantum leap coach, because it literally someone goes and takes leaps, gigantic leaps sometimes, and it starts to see transformation in their lives.
Awesome. So I know a lot of times with entrepreneurs, and I know even for myself, this whole concept and this whole industry is new, and really grabbing a hold to understanding how it works and why, especially as a entrepreneur and as someone in the healing profession, why they really need this. What do you say to those people?
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. It is definitely one of that. And I think I'm going to kind of divide, if you don't mind, into two versions, right? Why would we need coaching and why would we need healing? Okay. I personally, in my work, mix them both. Okay. And you have experienced it firsthand in my programs that I offer. But, coaching, it's really powerful. I started as a healer, okay? And I noticed that the lives of the people that I was working with, they would feel better. all of a sudden they, if they had a hard time receiving money, they started to receive some money. If they wanted love, they started to feel better about themselves.
Mm,
But I noticed that it would only take them so far.
mm,
Okay. And that's when I started to look into the piece that was that, 'cause, there's a reason why I chose to be a quantum leap coach. It's like I like bigger and quicker transformation. I don't believe that we need to wait um, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years to see changes in our lives. I don't believe that, and I don't believe it because I've asked for it and because I've seen it in my work. And so the piece that really brought roundiness in my service is the coaching piece. And so
mm,
some coaches, same thing, only use coaching, right? So coaching, what it does for someone is, it allows you to look inside. What is it that you can see? It's kind of, when you drive and you have your blind spots, no matter what, you have blind spots.
right.
That's what coaching does to you. It helps you see in those blind spots,
Mm,
right? And so when we do only coaching, same thing, you see the blind spots. Like I have a mindset coach, for example, and she tells me, oh my God, this is the thing that I've been asking, what is it in my way? What is that I'm blocking it, right?
mm,
And then when I bring my healing, then it allows me not only to now be aware and I start to create a new neural path, a new way of thinking, but with the healing, what I do is actually allow it to move and transmute and transform and leave my feelings. Sometimes when you think of money, you cringe, right? That's in the subconscious. You don't know why people are starting to learn about money's energy and or in relationship, thinking about your husband or your business, right? You start to think different, but you feel like you can't totally feel fully free, right? That's the part of energy that I like to work. And so to me, why would anyone, to your question, why would anyone choose this? Because I feel like most people now are waking up to this desire or this knowingness. It's like, well, there's gotta be something more, right? For hundreds, if not thousands of years, we humans have lived into like a struggle, hard, and then some of us have been like, this can't be it. There's
right.
more. I know there's, that little voice, and you know what I mean. Maria, that's why you're doing this. That little voice that says, I know there's a different way. I know it can be different. I know it can be happier. I know it can be easier. And so for those people that have this knowingness that it can be different, that you can be happier, and again, you don't have to work really hard and wait years and years to see changes. For those people, is that coaching and healing is available to just, again, create bigger transformation and, start to see your dreams and start to see your desires now.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. So, and I think that it's imperative, and I love the fact that you are focused on not only other healers but coaches to work with, because even for someone like me, I'm a branding coach, I'm a branding strategist. It's what I do. But oftentimes when I'm working with other entrepreneurs, especially because I work with heart centered entrepreneurs and mission driven entrepreneurs, being aware of some of the techniques and different things that I've learned from you, also helps me in my work, because, we can't talk about brand messaging and your voice and not talk about what's holding you back, right? What's keeping you from sharing your voice? What are those things? And so I wanted to make sure that piece is clear for, some coaches that may feel like, well, I'm not necessarily in a healing occupation, but no matter what you're coaching around, there's people have deep rooted issue. I don't want to say issues, but deep rooted stories within themselves that are keeping them from doing different things, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we all have it. I mean, we're humans. If
Right.
we're here, I mean, I know we don't want to use the word issues at times, but it is an issue.
Right.
Because let's be real, if we wouldn't have issues, then we would be in another place, right? We would be having everything that we want. So, I mean, what do you call it? Issues, challenges, problems. It's just, it doesn't matter. It's about just seeing, okay, I want that. What's in my way, right? Again, it's like we can do a lot of mindset shifting, and I feel like I see, that the mindset with the energy work like when you want to lose weight, you know, if you only diet, if you only eat good, you will lose some weight.
Right.
But if you only do that, you're only going to be limited to certain results, right? Now, same thing, if you only exercise,
Mm-hmm.
but then after exercise, you eat like crazy and unbalanced, that's neither going to get you that result that you want, right? So, familiar?
Don't talk
And
about me.
so, no, what? Right? But if you bring both of them together, that's when you start to really, see that result. And so, again, it's like, same thing, you want to lose weight, then you gotta look what's your issue, what is in your way, what is really keeping you like sabotaging your. A lot of people say, what is my self-sabotage? I don't like that word. Well, then what is it that is not, it doesn't matter, but there is something that we would want to call, like I said, however it suits you, it doesn't matter, but there's something that is not allowing you to keep moving towards what you want, towards your goal,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, so the whole concept of this show is really to talk about those people that are creating disruptions in their industry and that are really kind of shaking things up and don't, subscribe to the whole box. I hate the whole box thing. I'm on a personal mission on this planet to eradicate the box. So
I'm with you.
yes. So with that, first let me ask you, when you hear the term disruption, what does that mean to you?
Okay, so disruption. I feel like there's a connotation of kind of violent. Okay, so if I feel the word disruption, it can be violent, but I feel like that's kind of more on a belief side, something that we've seen in society, what comes when there's revolutions, when there's something, not um, wanted. But that's an extreme. Disruption is more like one of the words that I learned from you when I met you is a trailblazer, right? When you're trailblazing, so I always thought, I lived in the mountains for 10 years and all. And so trailblazing is like, when everything is white, and it's virgin, what we call virgin snow, right? And then you come with your snowshoes or your skis, and then all of a sudden you're opening a new path.
Right.
That's trailblazing, right? And so if you think about it, that creates disruption on the snow, right? It's like from being all serene and all pretty, then all of a sudden it's disrupting its pattern, its flow,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so again, we can think about the violent piece, or we can think about something that just is creating a new path. We can think about also something that needs to be done, because let's be real, I mean, mindset is disrupting our patterns, our old patterns, right? If you're always thinking, oh, I'm not going to have money, or money is never enough, money never comes to me, then we need to disrupt that pattern to start to create something different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so again, it can have many connotations, but I think what is important is how do we use it? In what sense is that we are looking to disrupt anything?
Right, right. I love that. I love that. You were bringing up the aspect of the nonviolent side. Um, a lot of times, a lot of people that have been on the show, so far, and including myself, because I'm kind of revolutionary, just how I am naturally. I tend to lean towards that side, like, even in your scenario of being out in the woods or in the mountains, in my mind, I think automatically of, lots of trees, debris, and having to cut your way through because you can't see the path, right? Which is still kind of violent, right? But I love your perspective in showing too that it does not necessarily always have to be that is necessary sometimes, but sometimes it is, just simply that, that analogy you gave of the virgin snow and creating this new path for people to be able to follow in your footsteps in that way. And so that's one of the things I love about doing this show, though, is getting different perspectives, because not everyone is called to be revolutionary in that way, where it's loud and it's big and it's, this. Some people are called to a quiet revolution, or like you said, just disrupting patterns, piece by piece. So I love that part of you sharing that. So with your industry in particular, because, I don't know, maybe it's because I have a new awareness of it now, but I know, or if there's really an influx actually happening of people in doing mindset work and in the healer community that I've been noticing lately. But what are some things that you would like to see different or changed about how your industry operates?
Can I bring the scroll? I have quite a list, okay? So let's see if I can grab a couple for you, okay? So, well, just like you, I am also like no boxes. And to me, it really gets me fired up. I want to say more the proper word, labels. When I hear labels, really drive me nuts, And so with that said, one of the things that I've been helping coaches, healers, and really, I mean, before that, because I still get women and men that just want to break free, right? Is the problem of the labels, of being in a box, right? Of doing it like everybody else. So one thing in the industry that I see is like, I get a lot of coaches that say, well, this coach told me that I need to do it ABC to be successful, to have the business, to have the clients, to have it this way, right? To get whatever, the 5-figure, the 6-figure and whatnot. And then I get another one that says, well, this person said it to do it this way, and I have to do it this way, and I have to do it this way, right? And so, and those are things that, what I always say, and I see people even offering programs, that is, they teach what worked for them, which is phenomenal because it's their experience.
Right.
But that doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to work for each person in front of them.
Right.
Right. And so one of the things that I would like to see different is like for them to say, this is not the way, but this is a way that I discover, and let's see if it fits you.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Like you are, right, because you are extreme, like you're a brand revolutionary, you are like in one extreme. And there's other ones that are afraid to be visible, that they want to pretty much blend with the background, right? And that doesn't mean that they cannot reach those goals if they don't show up in that way.
Right.
Right. So again, this boxing thing, it's time for me to, like, when I work with people, it's like, well, is that your way? Does that, to me, the most important thing is that people feel good with you doing. And that's why I bring healing, because yes, like, for example, one of the things that I've been working big time lately in myself is being more visible. And you know me, I do a lot of lives and I'm out there, but energetically there's some things that I'm blocking. So I'm like, I'm bringing in harmony what I want with my energy, with my subconscious, right? And so again, for everyone else, is like, if that person doesn't want to be as visible, that's perfect, right? But if she or he starts to work on releasing those whatever traumas, limiting beliefs, stories that we have, then they will start to open up and open up and open up, right? But the most important thing is to honor where we are right now. Because again, is I've seen plenty that, like, they try to copy everyone else and they feel drained. They feel they actually start to feel the opposite, that they cannot do it. They feel like losers at times. They feel a failure. That's a favorite one, because I should be, right? I should be already feeling that. I should be already making this. I should be. And you know very well, when we are in this low feeling, we can't have what we want,
Right.
And so that's one of the things that I would like to see people start to recognize, to honor themselves, honor where they are, and listen to other people's input and say, okay, what does that feel good right now for me, right now in my business, in my path? How can I get there, but in my own way? Okay, so that's one of the things. And the other thing is kind of in relation to that, but like working with healers or coaches to really learn to be neutral. Again, you have your own experience. I have my own experiences. I have my own story, my own trauma, same thing you, same thing everyone, right?
Right.
And so sometimes we tend to project our own others, right? And I'm very conscious when I'm sitting with someone, I can tell my own experiences like coming. I was like, wait a second, that feels like my own stuff. Give me 1 second. I need to, release it. Because again, just because I went through the same thing doesn't mean that the other person will go through the same thing, right? And so being able to be neutral and listening and use more their intuition, okay? And our intuition can also be affected by our own perception, our own stories. So this is why, to me, I'm so adamant, and I feel it's so important for people to learn just the basic tools. Even, not everyone, like you said just a moment ago, not everyone is meant to be like healing all the time. That's not the goal. But yes, to come to this place where you know how to work your stuff. And again, because we all want the money, and we all, like heart-centered entrepreneurs, we want to do it from a place that is true to us, right? And so beyond our ego, beyond our stories. So that would be the other thing, that more people start to learn, more coaches, more healers start to learn, therapists, whatever, whoever is in the service industry, to start to learn more being neutral, leaving their stuff on the side and being there to serve. So what is that you need? What is it the client need, instead of what I think they need?
Right. Yes. So much goodness in that. Oh my gosh. So if you're watching this episode, just go ahead and pause it and rewind it and listen to it again, because so many nuggets just in that part. Because I mean, it drives me absolutely insane when I see unfortunately, a lot of coaches out here who are only really interested in making mini-me's, and they're not really, serving those clients that they're, that are purchasing their services. I can't tell you how many people, just even on a branding standpoint, like how many people have came to me and wanted visual branding redone. And when I start talking to them about what they already have out there, the colors they chose, different things like that, that they're like, oh, well, the last branding person I worked with, that's what they told me to pick. But they don't even like the color. Like, how do you have a business with your entire branding and in colors that you don't even like, all because you were following the advice of the expert, and they weren't really listening to you. They were just doing what they wanted to do. So totally get that. And I feel like if no matter what industry you're in, if you operate in that place, you'd be more effective. And that's where you really create impact, is helping people to I always say helping people to find themselves. So like, even though, with me doing branding, essentially I'm helping them find themselves and creating their brand. Not find me, because I already know where I'm at. But it's true. And so I love that you talked about that, because I don't think it's talked about enough. And I think that it is something that people kind of shy away from having those types of conversations, because they don't want to step on anybody's toes. And people get wrapped up in feeling like there's this formula this formula that if I do 1 + 1, I'm going to get 2. And that's not always the case, you know? And so I definitely agree with what you're saying in regards to that. It's so true on so many levels, not just entrepreneurship, but, you know, in all parts of your life. So what I would ask from you is, because I know you personally, and I know, like, I don't even know if people can really understand. I'm sure as they're watching this, they probably don't even know why, but the level of the energy that is happening just in talking to you, like, I don't think I've ever really had a moment when talking to you that I didn't feel like energized and like I'm ready to go conquer the world after I finished talking to Lisseth. And we could have been talking about anything, you know, but it's just the energy that you give off. But in that, I know that there is a message, right? And so I would ask you, what is your message to the world?
My message to the world. Oh, I have many. But I'm gonna. Can I just tune in? I wanna see for everyone that watches this. I wanna bring in what is that you really need to hear. Okay. So I wanna go with each one of you. You are unique. You are unique, and there's a reason why you're unique. We have grown up in a society that, and I was just talking about this last week with my husband, how in society they have trained us that to be all equal, or equal as of like the same, right? That if someone would be different, that wasn't okay. And they would prize in the schools, you know, they would give an award to the one that was conforming, okay? That was not different, right? The one that would follow more the box, okay? The truth is, each one of us has come here with a set of gifts, with a set of experiences, with a set of desires. And these desires come from your soul. They don't, sometimes they come from your mind, but there's those ones that don't leave you. They come from your soul. They come from something bigger that right now you're aware of. And there's a reason why you have the gifts that you have. There's a reason why you're here on earth. And so it is time for us to start to notice that this uniqueness that each one of us have, this unique being that you are, is here for a major reason. Just to be here and be shining. And you said it's like your energy. Your energy can do so much, so much. So either you're here to just really shine and become happy, or either is that you feel this call that I want to help more people and I don't know how. That's the speaker. I don't know how. Well, you have a unique set of gifts that has been given to you and nobody else. There is no two people with the same kind of gifts, no two people with the same kind of view of the world. And so it is time for you to open up and see that, recognize that, and use them in the world. Because the world needs you. There are other people out there waiting for you, for your voice, for your energy, for your healing, for your message. Nobody else is going to create the impact that you are meant to create. So it is time.
Awesome. I'm not going to cry on this show, Lisseth. I'm not going to cry. That was so beautiful, as always, and so very impactful, which I am already used to, and why I'm excited to have you here on the show. not gonna cry. Because even in that, you know, no matter what, I always feel too is like, no matter what level we get to and different things that we feel like we've moved beyond, and certain, you know, we've healed certain parts, there's always more to discover as you continue to discover the uniqueness of who you are and the gifts that you have and what you're here to do in this world, because of the fact that there's been so much conformity, there's been so much messaging at us to not be those things, that it is a journey. And so absolutely love the fact that you are here to help people that not trying to take 10 years, you know, to move beyond some of these things and really to begin to walk in their gifts and their purpose in that way. And so so thank you for that message. I know y'all felt that because I felt that. So I know y'all did. And I didn't expect anything less from that. So what I would ask you, piggybacking off of what you just talked about, for those people that are watching, that what you said resonates with them, but they don't know where to start. They don't know what should be the first step to take, because it's like, well, I've always done what I'm supposed to do, or what I've been told to do, or what I felt was supposedly right. But, you know, but somewhere inside, I resonate with what you're talking about, that I am unique and that I am different, but I don't know how to take the first step into that. What would you tell those people?
Well, it can be challenging, right, to start, because if you've always been conforming, and I've seen some people that are different and, you know, they have to face that. I would say start to listen to how you feel. Of course, I mean, I would love to invite them to check my website. I have a free gift right there that really helps you every day. You listen to it. It's a clean for self-love. And it really helps you to release all these stories. You don't even know what's going on. It's just like releasing. But to start, it's like, pay attention to how you feel. That's another thing that, if you think about it, Famira, is like, we have been trained to not feel the emotions, right? It's like, no, shut it down. It's not okay, right? So start to pay attention to how you feel whenever you do what you do, whenever, you know, you are on your day and about and doing things. Does that feel good?
Mm-hmm.
And some people, when, like you said, when they haven't really tapped into this, you might get confused. And like, I don't know what I feel. That's okay. But at least now you're asking questions.
Right.
And start to pay attention. How does it feel? So the first time you may not know. I don't know. Okay. The next time, oh, I think it feels good, or I think it doesn't feel good. And so every time it's like, again, retraining your mind, retraining your emotions. How do you feel? If it feels good, then start to go that route. And if it doesn't, then you know to go the other way.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yes.
Awesome. So so the title of the show is, of course, Brand Different. And so I think that you definitely embody that. But I would like to ask you, from your own words, how do you feel that you brand differently?
Well, I have to say I brand differently because I show. And I remember when someone was telling me, you need to change the words that you say, and you say, I was like, I can only talk as me. I can only act as me, you know. And the more I get attuned to what I want, to what I like, you know, the less I can be somebody else, unless I'm acting, right? And so to me, it's like, I'm very, whatever I do, whatever, even when I, you know, I have, like I said, a coach, and I have the strategies in my team, my business team is like, and they tell me to do something, I'm like, if it doesn't feel good, I don't do it. No matter what they say, it's like, no, right now is not the moment. No, that doesn't feel good to me, and I don't do it. Okay. And so I feel like in that way, my branding represents me, what I feel, what I know at this moment. And so my colors is going to be something that resonates with me. What I talk about, I feel like my branding is just me showing up. And again, it's like I'm Peruvian, I have an accent, you know, I dress different, I act different, and I speak different. And so, so in that sense, I brand different because I am every step of the way in every area of my life or of my business in this case. I always look forward to be me. So even with my social media person, right, she starts to create, and I'm always checking, like, no, that doesn't feel like me, no, that doesn't feel like me. And I get him into, like, you know, what is that? Oh yeah, that's Lisseth right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, and again, it's what I said. It's like I'm always saying, does that feel good? Does that feel like good to me? And if it does, then that's part of me, because you feel good. That's what people don't know. People think, you know, how people feel bad, like depressed, anxiety, and all that stuff, is because they have so much of everything else, of whatever the stories, of whatever is going on in family, work, and whatnot, that of course they're gonna feel that, and I'm actually feeling it right now, so anxiety, you know, it's like, but when you start to tuning into what you are, what you feel, you start to feel little by little more and more good. You feel good. Your true energy, your true self feels good.
I love that. I love that. So I want to make sure that everyone is listening. Here's some of the, you know, of course, my branding mind was at work, but, you know, really wanted to pull it out. The fact of what you were saying in regards to that you're being you. And that is the ultimate thing. Like, no matter what product, what service that you are providing as an entrepreneur, especially because, you know, a lot of us starting out, we're solo entrepreneurs. We don't normally come out the gate as corporations with thousands of people, but it is us. But even for those of us that are growing, to have teams and more of us, it's still called culture that you're creating, that is still grounded in who you are and what it is that you're wanting to put out into this world. So it is important that, you know, you find your voice, that you find who you are, and that's what you create your brand around. Those are the brands that flourish and that are long lasting, right? And so, and I love the other thing you said, that it is what it, that your brand, the colors, your posts are what is real to you at that moment. Meaning that it can evolve. It could be something different, you know, a couple months from now, as you continue to tap more into who you are and what it is that you want and what you're trying to create. So, so I want to point those things out so that people really don't miss what you were saying in that moment, because it's so important when you're looking at really creating your brand and your messaging around that. So this has been so awesome, and I'm so glad that you took time to be here with me today. I appreciate it so much. I don't take it for granted at all. But of course, before we get out of here, please let everyone know how they can find you, your website, social media, all those different goodies on how they can get connected with you.
Okay. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because this really has been an honor, super fun. I love definitely getting out there the message of the uniqueness of you. At the end, I feel like at the bottom of everything that we talk about is that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you all can find me. My website is Path, so www, right, path to yourself.com, path to yourself.com. And in social media, same thing, at Path to Yourself, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram. And like I said, in my website, I have a free gift, which is a clearing. It's a clearing gift to just what people do, what my community does is they just play it every day, and when they wake up and when they're going to bed, and they're ready to start their day. So it just gets you aligned into who you truly are, which allows you to be more you, feel good in a high vibration. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So look around this video. It's at the bottom, to the side, somewhere, and you will see all of her information. You'll be able to click on the link to check her out on her website. Definitely make sure that you get connected with her. Lisseth is amazing at what she does, and I'm saying that from personal experience, not just from what I've witnessed online. So, so yes. So thank you again. I'm so glad that you were here with us. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap up today and let everyone know that come back next week and I'll have another guest on the show. And remember, this is how we brand different and be different. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye.